Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to learn how to create the Lego Man connector piece using Fusion 360. Let's go ahead and get started. Come on up to File, let's do a new design, and we're going to change our document settings here from inches to millimeters in case you want to 3D print it. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and start a sketch here on our XY plane. We're going to come on up and grab our center rectangle, and we're going to drag out a square here. I'm going to zoom in a bit. We want this distance here to be 7.81 millimeters. Hit the tab button, and we want our other distance to be 15.2 millimeters. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, select Finish Sketch. All right, we're going to extrude this guy a distance of 2.22 millimeters and select OK. Now we're going to go ahead and start a sketch here on this face, and I'm going to rotate it over here, and then we're going to grab our circle here tool, and we're just going to kind of drag out a circle here with a diameter of 7.7 millimeters, and we want this to be vertically aligned, and then we want this dimension here, okay, from here to here we want this distance to be 3 millimeters. Okay, go ahead now and hit escape and finish our sketch. Okay, and then we're going to extrude this guy and that guy a distance through all. Hit OK. Okay, so we have something that looks like this. Alright, next thing we want to do is construct a midplane here between this face and that face. Go ahead, select OK, and we're going to start a sketch on that surface right there. I'm going to rotate it around here. I'm going to grab my circle tool, and I'm going to find this point, and I'm just going to kind of somewhere down here, I'm going to drag out a circle with a diameter of 7 millimeters. Hit enter. Okay. And then I am going to, grab my line tool, and I'm going to draw, let's project some geometry first. So let's come to project, and let's just do that face right there. Hit OK. Now let's use our line tool. Let's come here and straight down to our circle. Alright, now we're going to trim this guy right here. Okay, and we want this distance right here to be 0.4 millimeters. And we want that on both sides to be consistent, 0.4, and we're good. Okay, now I'm going to come on over here to my 3-point arc, and I'm going to click here, click there, and I want my line to be on that projected geometry. Okay, and there's a way you can also double check that. If you hit escape and you dimension this guy, if you recall, the circle was 7.7, so we're going to do 7.7 divided by 2, and there we go. Now we know we're on that line. Now let's go ahead and finish our sketch, and we're going to extrude this guy out. Okay, and we are going to select a symmetrical way, a distance of, let's see here, that guy and that guy, and like I said, we're going to go a distance of 1.5 out. Alright, select OK. So you get something that hopefully looks like this. Alright. Alright, so now let's go ahead and start a sketch right here on this surface. Okay, I'm going to rotate my part around. Okay, and I'm going to project some geometry. Get this circle right here. Hit OK. So now the center of the circle shows up. We're going to grab our circle tool, and we're going to create a circle with a diameter of 2.3 millimeters. Hit enter. Let's finish our sketch. And then we're going to extrude this guy out here a distance of 2.8 millimeters. And select OK. And then we're going to start a sketch now on the surface of this guy. And I'm going to rotate it around just like last time. And then we're going to project geometry just like last time. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so now we have the center of the circle here showing up. And I'm going to draw another circle here, right here, with a diameter of 1.8. Okay, hit enter. And then we're going to grab our line tool and we're just going to drag a line across, something like that. We're going to trim this top portion and we're going to dimension this portion right here to be 1.3. Hit enter. All right, and I'm going to add a concentric constraint just to make sure these two are concentric. We're looking good. Let's finish our sketch. And now we're going to extrude this part out right here, just a distance of 1 millimeter. Select OK. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and create a midplane between this surface and this surface, and then we're going to start a sketch on there. And once again, I'm going to rotate my part around. I'm going to project some geometry of this guy, hit OK, and then we're going to offset this guy right here a distance of 0.366. Select OK. Okay, and then we are going to draw some lines down, okay, from here, something like right here, down to our offset here. Okay, now let's go ahead and do some trimming real quick. We're going to get rid of that guy, that line, and that line, so we just have this portion right here. Let's come and close our loop and add a 3-point arc so that we go from here, click there, and then we are going to draw it right on there. Okay, now let's add some dimensions. We want this distance right here. Actually, this distance right here, let's make that 0.5. And the same thing on the other side, so we're symmetrical, 0.5. All right, and then we are good. Let's go ahead now and finish our sketch. Okay, and we are going to go ahead and extrude this feature a distance of minus 0.5 millimeters. Okay, and go ahead and select OK. So you end up with something that looks like this here. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a chamfer and a fillet. So let's go ahead and add that chamfer on this face, this little edge right here, and it's going to be 0.35 millimeters. All right, and hit OK, and then we're going to add a fillet to this part right here, and we're going to make that 0.2. Okay, select OK. All right, so we have something that looks like that. All right, so now let's go ahead and mirror this guy, this feature that we made. So we're going to go to mirror. Okay, select features, and we're just going to select everything that we made here. All right, and for our mirror plane, it should be one of the ones that we used before. That one right there. Select OK, and there we go. We have it now on both sides. All right, so now we want to go ahead and start making the portion on the surface here that connects to our body. So we're going to go ahead and start a sketch right here. We're going to come on over and create a center rectangle. Okay, I'm going to make it so that it's in line with this, and we're going to make it 4.7 by 4.7 millimeters here. Okay, now we're going to dimension it so we have the proper location, and we want this dimension right here to be 3.2. And then this dimension over here to be, whoops, excuse me, from this edge to the center, we want that dimension to be 3.905. Okay, and so we're good. All right, so the next thing we want to do now is we're going to come on in and we're going to add some small little arcs here, okay, to every corner. And I'm just going to kind of click here and something like that on every corner. Make them something that looks like that, okay? All right, looks good. So I'm going to hit escape, and we're going to add, we're going to come and trim some stuff here. We're going to trim this guy and this guy and this guy for every corner. Okay. Now we're going to start adding a lot of dimensions here. So follow along carefully. We're going to go from here to here. We want this distance to be 1.35. From here to here, same thing, 1.35. And we're going to do that all the way around. 1.35, 1.35, so we've done that all the way around. Now we're going to add some more dimensions here. We want this distance to be 1, and this distance over here to be the exact same. So we're going to go with 1. Okay, and we're going to do that once again all the way around. And we're good there. We're good there. I'm going to hit escape. We're good there. I'm going to hit escape. And we're good on 1 there too. So we're pretty much good. The only thing we need to do now is dimension our arcs. So to hit escape a bunch of times and come on over here, we want that to be 1.5. This to be 1.5. This to be 1.5. And this as well to be 1.5. So we have a very symmetrical shape right here with all the right dimensions. I'm going to delete this driven dimension here since it's already on there. So once your sketch is fully constrained, you'll know it's fully constrained when all your lines here, you see all white lines. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and finish our sketch now. Okay, and we're going to extrude this guy up a distance of 4.85 millimeters, and we're not quite done yet. We want to add a taper angle of -2. Okay, and then we're good. Select join and hit OK. Okay, so you hopefully have some. All right, so next thing we're going to go ahead and start a sketch here. Okay, and I'm going to rotate it around here so it looks something like this. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a line tool and somewhere, actually let's project some geometry first. So I'm going to do that line and that line, hit OK. And then somewhere right around in here, I'm just going to drag out a line and it goes up kind of to here and then over to here and then down. And I didn't close my loop, so there we go. So we have like this triangle. Let's make it a right triangle. So that's perpendicular to that. All right, and now we're going to add some dimensions. We want this distance here to be 3.8. This distance from here to here. Okay, we're good there. All right, and then let's see, this distance right here. Okay, we're going to over constrain it. We don't want that. Let's see here. Let's give it an angle here. Nope, we're good there. So I think we're good. It looks like we're fully constrained. All of our lines are white. So let's go ahead now and finish our sketch. And then we're going to extrude this portion, cut a distance through all. Hit OK. Okay, so now we have kind of like this shaved off side here. And if you look at the Lego Man connector piece, you'll see that. All right. All right, so the next thing I want to do is hollow out these features. So we're going to start a sketch there. I'm going to grab my circle tool and somewhere just, well, right here, I'm going to drag out a 3mm circle. Okay, and we're going to dimension it now so that it is 2.35 from that edge. Okay, and then 2.376 from that edge. All right, and now we're going to grab a line tool and we're just going to kind of create a line that goes something like that. We're going to trim this little portion right here. We're going to make this dimension right here a distance of 2 inner. All right, and then we're going to dimension from this distance from right here. We're going to make sure that says 1, and it does. We're good. Okay, so we're fully constrained. Now let's go ahead and finish our sketch. And, whoops, we're going to go ahead and extrude this distance, okay, minus 4.85, okay, to where it hits this surface right here. Just make sure it says cut, select OK. Okay, looking more and more like our connector piece there. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and add some fillets here, okay, because if you look at the Lego man very carefully, you'll notice it's kind of rounded up here, right? And we're going to do this all along the top edges here, and then one right there, one right there, and one right there, and we're going to make those all 0.5. Okay, hit OK. All right, and like I said, if you really take a careful look at the parts of the Lego man connector piece, you'll notice that these are not sharp edges. So we're going to add some very, very tiny fillets on those guys right there and right there, and we're going to make those 0.2. Okay, and hit OK. So we're done with this feature now, and you probably know it's coming up. We're going to have to go ahead and mirror it so we have them on both sides if you've ever seen a Lego man connector piece. So we're going to come on over here. We're going to go to Create, down to Mirror. And this is where it's going to get a little tricky because we have a lot of features to mirror here. We got to get all those fillets, okay, as best you can. I think that's almost everything. Oh, that circle too. All right, let's go ahead and select our axes, and we have, is it that one? That one right there. Plane number 1, I think, is what we want, and go ahead and select OK. All right, it looks pretty good. I think we got it mirrored successfully. All right, make sure when you mirror it, you get all those fillets on there as well, okay? And you'll be able to tell the difference because it'll be a sharp single line here instead of a fillet, okay? Now that we're done, we want to go ahead and just assign it a color. So to be consistent, I'm going to make mine red, okay, with a paint. I'm also going to assign it a material of ABS plastic. So, because that's what Lego parts are actually made of, go ahead and select Close. All right, and when you are done, double check to make sure you've mirrored everything correctly. Go ahead and save it, okay? And that'll do it for this Lego man tutorial. In the next video, we are going to learn how to assemble our Lego man. All right, I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.